Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. For those that may not know me, I'm the Garden Goddess, and this is Planting Seeds. And today's episode is really special. It's actually probably my favorite episode that I am making to date. And that is because today we are talking about plants. Oh, we are talking about houseplants, and houseplants are my favorite topic to talk about because they are our kin folks, they are our family members, they are the plant allies that we see every single day when we wake up and when we come home. And so today we are going to be talking about houseplants because I'm going to teach you all how to enchant your houseplants to empower them for protection, for abundance, for attraction. And I want to teach you guys how to utilize your houseplants to fortify your home, to either protect your home from psychic attacks or fortify your home for abundance or whatever it is that you would like to fortify your home. And so I'm really excited for this episode because I love cultivating space. And so I've previously made a video and I even made an energy forecast that talked about cultivating space and sharing space. And so it's something that means so much to me. And so I love curating space, sacred space for family and friends. And so one of the ways I do so is by filling a space with plants. And so I love communicating with my plants, curating space with plants. But one of the ways that I do so is by enchanting my houseplants. And so today I'm going to be kind of going in depth with how I do so. And so if you're interested in how to enchant your plants, please keep on watching and let's jump right on in. Okay, so just to jump right on in, I have two house plants that I'm going to be talking about today. One is my umbrella tree that you guys probably see in every single one of my videos. This is one of my newer plants that I have welcomed into my space. And I have my older plant that is probably like maybe 6 years old now. And this is my peace lily that we have here. And so when we are um, utilizing houseplant in our space, it's important that we obviously choose plants that will thrive in the space that we have. That's important because we want our plants to be able to stay alive. And so when we're choosing house plants, first, it's important to set an intention on why we are choosing these house plants. What's the intention that we want these house plants for? And so when we're creating a space for ourselves, what's the space intended for? For me, whenever I have a sacred space, the first thing that I'm setting the space for is protection. I want to fortify my sacred space to ensure that it's safe for me, it's safe for my family, it's safe for my ancestors. I want to be sure that it's fortified with protection, emotional safety, spiritual safety. So for me, that's my number one priority whenever I'm setting a sacred space. So I always encourage that whenever we are setting sacred space, that when you're choosing a plant that you want to fortify or enchant, that you choose a plant that you want to enchant for protection. So I don't really recommend a peace lily for protection. I probably would recommend maybe a snake plant, a succulent plant, a cacti plant. Gosh, I've had so many different plants over the years. A tree of some sort in your space. I've had a money tree at one point. That's not really a protection plant. That's more of a plant for abundance. I'm trying to think of the name of this plant, but it has more spikes in the space. Um, what else? There, I can't think of the name, but if it comes to mind, I'll put it in the description. I have the image in my head, but I can't think of the name of it. But I always recommend trees in the space. I always recommend succulents in a space for protection. And I always recommend that you have protection houseplants in the corners of your home. If you want the intention of abundance, I always recommend like peace lilies in this case. I always recommend like feng shui plants like the umbrella tree, money trees, of course. There's a coin plant that you can add into your space. Flowers like orchids into a space is beautiful to add. We're in my sacred space. This is my Zen den. And so this is where I keep a lot of my altars in this space. This is where I film. And so this is my abundance space, and this is where I love to share with y'all, of course. So this is more of my abundance, my prosperity room. So you'll see my peace lily and my umbrella tree in this space. And so this is what I'll be enchanting. This is what I'll show you guys how to enchant. And so this is what I recommend if you guys are trying to attract prosperity into a space. If you are trying to attract maybe love into a space, more romance, of course, this is when we introduce house plants such as flowers. So this is when we introduce like roses, magnolias, peonies into the space, lilies into the space, house plants such as that you can maintain, of course. Those are the kind of house plants that you're going to want to introduce into the space. And so once you set your intention and you can get more specific with what it is that you want, of course, you go out and you select your plants. Now, if you really want to get specific, you can select the colors of the house plants that you want, even down to the color of the pot that you want. If you're looking for something that is more protective, I always recommend like neutrals, blacks, even like whites if you want to be more flexible in the type of protection that you're looking for. White is a blank canvas, so you can be a bit more particular about the type of protection. I like white pots, to be honest, so no one really knows what it is that they're walking into. And it's crisp. I always love a crisp space. Also, a neutral pot is always good to have. If you're trying to attract abundance, yellows and oranges and pinks are always good to have. If you want to attract love, obviously romantic colors are great to have. If you want more healing, then obviously you have your blues and purples are great to incorporate into your work, right? So now let's move on to how do we enchant these plants? I have a video with how to enchant in depth, but I want to just give you guys just a beginner step with how to enchant your plants. I like to interchange the word enchant and empower. Now, the first thing is plants are alive, plants have spirits. And if you are someone that is a baby to spirituality, then you might not know all the steps to enchanting. You might not know how to divine. You might not know all the in-depths and all the secrets to the plant kingdom and the etheric realm. So I'm not going to tell you all that, right? The simple way, though, to enchant your plants is to pray over them. You pray over them and you can use affirmations And you can use the power of Psalms, especially if you're someone that is into hoodoo, voodoo, um, and you're into like spirituality, especially if you're someone that's African American or a person of color that's tracing their roots. The power of the Psalms, or if you're someone that is in America or just has the foundation of Christianity, the power of songs is your best friend. So praying over your plants and asking them to fortify your space with their essence and protecting your space and utilizing Psalms 54 over this space will absolutely be enough, right? So just sitting with your plants, praying over them, utilizing Psalms 54, and then spraying your plants with a little water and some tobacco smoke is more than enough to charge your plant up, empower your plant, enchant your plant to do some baby magic and to do some healing work and do some beginner magic. I think that's more than enough work that anybody could do and anybody needs to do. I think the worst thing a person can do when they're first starting out when it comes to this work, especially when it comes to magical workings, is doing too much when they don't really know that much. And as a practitioner, as an initiate of African spirituality, as a priestess, it's my job to just um, push you slightly into this work and give you just enough to get your feet wet. And so my favorite thing about magic is to do the little things that bring joy to my life and make my life easier by the day. And so house plant magic is one of my favorite ways to bring magic and miracles to my day-to-day life. And bringing house plant magic has been a game changer because nobody knows that my space is magical, but I know it's magical and I can feel the difference. I hope this has brought y'all just a little bit more joy, just a little bit more miracles to your world as it has brought to mine. And so this peace lily has been enchanted for years. Obviously, it has been thriving. I have taken this plant with me through very many moves. This has sat in the dark. This has been through everything and is still thriving. My umbrella plant has been enchanted over the year. This is probably almost a year old, but my umbrella plant has been enchanted. It has been thriving. It has been doing its big one. And yeah, so please try this out. Let me know how you like it. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all in my next video. I will talk to you all very soon. And take care now.